There's a lot of noise on that side. Please mute your mics. Okay, can you hear me? Hope you can hear me. I've muted you because people are making noise. But I'm sure you are hearing me. Can anyone unmute and tell me whether you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay. So let us start. I see some people are still connecting, but we shall not wait for them. Let me first share my screen. Okay. So that time we introduced ourselves and we went as far as management of computers is concerned. So we said computers also need to be taken care of, and we need to take care of the environment. Yeah, this is the book you're having there is one I'm using. So under management, we have maintenance. We have to keep them in good working condition. So as you can see there, we have the difference between servicing a computer and repairing a computer. Okay? So what that guy is doing is either servicing or is repairing. We have activities that are involved during the servicing of a computer. All these things are there in the book. That's why I'm scrolling through them. So what is how we can keep our computers safe? One, burglar proof. We install the fire prevention. Then power supply is very important. A stable one. But above all, we should avoid having drinks near the computers. Just a minute. Yes, Dean. Yes, please. Which one? The other Barbara? No, I do not forget, but I skipped. I marked one now. I may give you a mark something. So what I see. So how would mark? Oh, sorry. Hope you are not hearing me, and no one had told me that you are not hearing me. Hope now you can hear me. Can anyone tell me whether you are hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay. So many students are calling me. I will be answering phone calls. Hello? Wrong. Obadde oyagala kinyama.
Njagala baby wange. Jamani baby wange. Nze sogenza. Abaliwo abateekawo TV ki? Ate bandeefanira ki?
We're using English.
Hello. Good afternoon, class. Hello.
be disorganized.
Yes, hello. I'm only seeing one view here, that overview.
I'm sorry, I'm back. You see, I'm at work and sometimes some issues come up and again. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
We can finally hear you.
Okay, sorry, I was off my desk. So I've been talking about
Okay.
networks, and we are saying today almost all businesses move around networks. So they enable the exchange of data and communication across different devices, systems, and locations. So understanding these concepts is essential for IT people. So for us who are studying information technology, we must know how these networks happen to be. And that is what we are going to see. Okay, so what is a network? That is the first question you can ask ourselves. What is a network? It's a network. These are interconnected devices. All these notes are there in that booklet which you're having. The notes are there. So those of you have the booklet, you can open, you'll see these notes are there. So what is a network? These are interconnected devices. We call them today devices. Some books used to say computers, okay? But now we say devices because there are so many things that now connect to the network. Like you can see in this picture here. We can now connect phones. We can connect so many things. So now we talk of devices, just not computers. So network is interconnected devices with the purpose of sharing resources. So we can have various types of networks. We have what we call the local area network, campus area network, metropolitan area network, wide area network. When we talk of a local area network, like you see here, these are computers in one area. So for example, at the university there, when you go to lab F, you can see we have all these computers in one place. That is a local area network. When you go to lab C, there is also computers in one building. So usually local area network is just within the same building. Then we have campus area network. Now, campus area network, when you connect computers in lab F, connect them to computers in lab C, then connect them with computers in lab A, or also computers in lab G. So when you connect all the labs at Nkumba University, you get what is called a campus area network. because that network now is only at Nkumba campus only. So there we have a campus area network. And we have a metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network works within a territory. So, for example, we may want to connect computers at Nkumba University and want to connect them to computers at Chisubi University, also to computers at Entebbe Airport. So now this one becomes a metropolitan. It is an area of networks within the same area. Then from there, metropolitan area network can also connect cities. Like you can connect Kampala to Masaka. But then when it comes to wide area network, now we are connecting various networks across the globe. So for example, networks in Uganda can connect to networks in Kenya and can connect to networks in Rwanda. They can connect to networks in America. So this forms a wide area network. And this is the basis of the internet. So that is where now the internet starts. And the internet is defined as international networks. So various networks across the globe come together to form one network, which is called the internet, international networks. And that is wide area network. We also have the personal area network. Personal area network. Now the personal area network, these ones we form them in our homes, like in your sitting room. You may want to connect your laptop to your phone. You may want to connect your children's phone to give them a hotspot. So that is now called a personal area network. It is usually short, like in the sitting room. Just short. Then we have what we call network protocols. Network topologies. So a topology is just an arrangement of how computers are arranged over a network. So for example, we have what we call a bus topology. Early days, computers were arranged on one wire. Each computer comes and picks a network on the same wire. But this one had issues. So it was abandoned. And then they came up with a ring topology, which is like, as you see, it is in a ring form. Also, it had issues whereby if someone cuts the cable, the network is finished. Other people cannot connect. So technology went on moving. Then it came up with a mesh topology, which you are seeing on the left, whereby each one computer has so many cables running from it, going to other computers, until when technology came and embraced the star topology. So today we use the star topology, which is more reliable. Its good advantage is it is cheap to maintain, but when one computer is off, other computers can stay on the internet. Unlike other topologies, like the bus topology, you cut a wire, other computers are off. The ring topology, you cut a wire, other computers are off. But when it comes to the star topology, one computer goes off, cannot affect other computers. Then across the internet, or across a network, computers are communicating, basically computers are communicating with each other. One computer is talking with another computer. So as these computers are talking, they use a language. And this language is referred to as protocols. Protocols. Someone is asking the handout you are using. It is the hard copy, which Mr. Chikoni gave you. This is only summary, but all these things are there in the other handout. I will go back and I'll show you these things there. But this is just a summarized PowerPoint presentation. So network protocol, this is just a language computers speak over the internet. And the language is basically TCP/IP, standing for Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. You normally, when you go to the internet, you normally put www.google.com. Okay. Let me first unshare this screen and I show you. Let me share another one. So when you go to internet, you put www.google.com and you press enter. So that is what you, the human being, you understand. The www.google.com. But the computer is not looking at that. It's looking at numbers. It's looking at numbers. So the computer basically looks at numbers, doesn't understand what for us we do. And these numbers is where we get the TCP/IP.
Say more about those numbers you're saying.
Sorry? I don't want to go in very much into those numbers because I will confuse a lot of people here, especially the SBA people. But those of you who are doing IT, those of you who are doing IT, you have a full course unit on networking. Okay? And there we deal with those numbers, the IP addresses and configuration. Here we are just talking about them. If I begin now going into IP address configuration here, I will confuse a lot of people. But you have seen those numbers like 192.168.8.2. So that is what a computer understands. But for us human beings, for you are going to put google.com. But if you want to know the IP address of Google, you can use a DNS translator to translate to you those numbers. But for the sake of, because we are combined class with the BBA people, we don't want them to run out of class. So here, at least for this class, what we can know is computers over the internet, they use a language which is called TCP/IP, Internet Control, Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, okay? Then also a language, another language which is used is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Now, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, again, is you normally put www.worldwideweb, but you can also put HTTP. HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Some sites have the HTTPS. So HTTPS means Hypertext Transfer Protocol secure. That means that website is secure. Okay. Avoid when you are visiting websites, avoid websites which don't have S on them, especially when you are going to put your bank details, when you are going to put your sensitive information like passwords. So most of the time, the hackers use the websites which have HTTP, which are not secure. So hackers use these websites so much. So be careful when you are browsing. Make sure it has HTTPS. That means there you are secure. Some of you pay online using your cards. Never put your bank cards into a website which doesn't have HTTPS at the beginning. You are risking fraud. Hope that is clear. Then we have file transfer protocol. Now the files which you transfer, like you make an attachment, when you are sending an email, it uses a language which is a protocol which is called file transfer protocol to handle the files over the internet. Then we have the simple mail transfer protocol. Any email you send over the internet uses a channel which is called simple mail transfer protocol. IT people, you learn more about this and you have practical session about how to configure them. Those of you who want to learn more about them, if you wish, you can come to my Saturday class, Sunday class for enterprise networks. We configure those things there. But for here, let us stop it at this. If you have a question, you unmute and you ask. Then after you mute yourself back. Okay? Okay, let's look at telecommunications.
How does the simple mail transfer protocol work? Yeah.
Someone is asking me, how does the simple mail transfer protocol work? I told you I don't want to go into advanced things because I will make people run out of the class. For this class, the simple mail transfer protocol, what you need to know, it is responsible for moving the email. The moment you write an email and you click send, so the simple mail transfer protocol takes its duty to carry the email from you and deliver it to where you are sending it. And when the other replies, it carries it from the other sender back to you. Okay? Some people, I don't know what they are talking in the background. Okay, telecommunications. Now, telecommunications is basically the phones. And the internet has gone as far as using now mobile phones. Before, you remember those ability phones, they didn't have internet. They were not connected to the network. But today, phones are connected to the network. At first, telecommunications were known about using satellite dishes. But now we have gone away from the satellite and we have gone to the wireless. You can see the masts in this third diagram here. You can see the masts. So as long as you are closer to a mast, you can easily get into a network and the signal is high. As you go away from the mast, the signal goes low. So what the internet service providers do, they put so many masts in different areas. Unlike the wire one, as long as the wire is running through, it is okay. But the wireless, the signal reduces the further you go away from the mast. So always, internet service provider will put another mast. So now we have internet on all. Just a moment, someone else now needs me again. Okay, so we are saying today we can use mobile phones to connect to the networks, especially the internet. Some of you have been sending files using mobile phones, which was not in the past, which was not possible, but today it is possible. Some of you even connect using mobile phones to the internet. So mobile phones also now play a bigger role. And then we have wireless networks. Wireless networks, whereby you have the phone, or you have a modem, or a router, which works as the wireless access point. WAP, you have heard that term, WAP, wireless access point. And the wireless uses the Wi-Fi technology. That is wireless fidelity. So with the Wi-Fi, you can connect now, you can connect your TV, you can connect a mobile phone. So many things which you can connect. So today we are going into wireless, and many people are doing away with wires because the wires have problems. People steal them, they break. But with the wireless, you are more stable and reliable to get the network. So let's look at the various types of telecommunications. Of course, we have the traditional telephone systems, which use the analog signals, that is the cable, the wire. Maybe some of you have not seen them. These days, they are not so common. Those of you are very young have not seen them. But also we have the voice over internet protocol. Voice over internet protocol. So voice over internet protocol, we are now capable of making video calls over the internet. We are capable of making WhatsApp calls. All those use voice over internet protocol. We have cellular networks. Those are the mobile networks, mobile phones. And we have the satellite communication for long distances, especially when you are in areas like the sea. If you need to cross the sea, like if you want to cross countries, we normally use the satellite. There's somewhere where you see that a signal, you cannot use the wire like you're crossing the sea. So there you need the satellite. These satellite dishes are put up in the sky. So the signal is sent to the satellite. There's a machine which sends to a satellite, and there's a machine which picks from the satellite. You can go to Google and put their satellite dishes. All the pictures are there, which can show how it is done. Then we have what we call bandwidth. These terms, please know them. Know these terms, what they mean. Bandwidth. So bandwidth is the capacity of a network or communication channel to transmit data. Sometimes when you go to buy internet, like from an internet service provider, they ask you the question, what bandwidth do you need? So that is the capacity of a network. And different bandwidths are going to cost different money. So the bigger the bandwidth, the more the money. Then we have latency, that is the time it takes for the data to travel from one source to another. Sometimes you have seen that you can send a WhatsApp message and the delay is to go. But sometimes it is so fast. So that time the data takes to be transmitted from one point to another is called latency. Okay. Now the convergence of networking and telecommunications. So today you cannot separate computer networks from telecommunications. So the lines between networking and telecommunications are increasingly blurred as technology converge. Modern IT systems often integrate both networking and telecommunications, enabling seamless communication and data exchange across different platforms and devices. So today when we talk of networking, phones and computers work together. I'm sure some of you are now attending this lecture using your phones. Others are using their laptops, okay? So as you can see, they work hand in hand. So what is the main importance of networking in information technology? One, we have already said about it. So the first one is basically data sharing and resource allocation. So when we network, first of all, we can share data like emails, sending emails. Even now we're on Zoom lecture. But we can also share resources such as printers. You have seen in offices whereby the entire organization is using one printer. So that is sharing a resource. It is done through a network. We can also share things like internet. We just need one internet connection and everybody connects on that. That is sharing a resource. So basically, the major purpose of networking is all about sharing resources and sharing data. That is a major purpose. But networking also has gone as far as business operations. Business operations. So today, many people are doing business. Network is enabling them to do business. For example, in the banks today, when you go to the bank today and the network is off, you'll find that nobody will be working. You are going to find lines and they are going to tell you the network is off. So there's no business as long as the network is off. You can imagine if the MTN server today went off, how many people will be affected in the country? How many businesses will be affected in the country if MTN server just went off? Okay. So today, we cannot run away from networking when we're in business. As we have said, computers, phones, all are connecting over the internet. Yeah. Right now, we are on the lecture. Can you imagine if, for example, the lecturer's internet goes off? All of you are going to be affected. Okay. So networking is very vital in business. And we are telling you people are doing BBA that as you go into modern business, think about incorporating internet into your businesses. When you bring internet, sometimes people fear internet because of the costs that comes with it, especially that you have to pay for it every month. But when you fear these costs, it means you are going to also lose the business somewhere. Some of you are distance students, you are online right now, and you are distance students. So if the university enrolls you as a distance student and the university runs away from buying internet, from buying data, it means somewhere the university is going to fail onto the business of distance students because they need to study online, okay? And online means using internet. And if an internet is not available, how are they going to study? That is a big question. So before you put such businesses into place, you have to make sure you have a stable internet, okay? I hope that is very, very clear. Okay? Internet, we cannot run away from internet. We cannot run away from network into our businesses. Whether you have 2, 3 computers, you need to network them. You have the accounts department has to connect with the marketing department. How are they going to connect? Internet. Okay. Then we have what we call Internet of Things. Internet of Things. Last semester, I set a question about Internet of Things. And I saw so many funny answers. Yet I taught it in class and I explained it very well. But almost all class could not answer Internet of Things. Someone was telling me these are the things which I used on the internet. So when we talk about Internet of Things, we are saying that today the internet is no longer accessed by only computers, right? There are so many devices that access the internet, so many devices. Some people even switch on and off their lights at home using internet. Even when I'm not at home, you can easily switch on and off. CCTV cameras. Some of you in your homes, you have installed these cameras and you're at your workplace, you are seeing what the maid is doing at home. You are seeing who is entering in your home, yet you are not there. I have a colleague of mine is in America and he has a school in Gayaza. But anytime you're walking at a compound, he can easily call you and say, where are you going? I'm seeing, but he's in America. He can tell you, yesterday I saw you doing and this. What were you after? But he's in America. So we can connect so many devices over the internet. Some of you, your gates at home, they are connected online. As you are coming, you tell the gate, you open in 5 minutes, I'm coming. And as you approach, it opens. So that's what we call Internet of Things. Means it's no longer now connecting only the computers, but we have a lot of devices that we can connect over the internet. You can be in Kampala and you print on a printer which is in Masaka and you print, and the work comes out very well. Okay. All these are various things which you connect over on the internet. Okay. Any question? Before I share another screen. Everything is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now those of you have that textbook, you can open the page which has internet. That's chapter 4. That's chapter 4. Okay, so I want that topic of internet service providers. Internet service provider, these are companies which provide us with internet. So an internet service provider is a company that provides internet and provides it at a cost. Okay. How these ones work? So such people purchase bulk internet and then they distribute it to other customers but at a fee. Examples of internet service providers. All these are I'm now in the book. I'm in the book. We're on page 92 now. So examples of internet service providers we have in Uganda, we have MTN, Airtel, we have Uganda Telecom, Liquid, Rocket, there's Smile. There are so many. I don't know whether AfriCell is still working, but it also is there.
It's not working.
It's not working.
It is not.
AfriCell, they sold it.
Another one. They sold it. Yes.
They sold it to what? Is it Airtel which bought it? You know, Airtel buys everything. But at least it was there.
That was there.
By these things, we say them in class like this. And when you say to them in exam, you see people, I wonder whether people come for lectures. I wonder. Such a simple numbers. Last semester I said to that number, internet service providers. Wow. And I saw funny answers. Sometimes I wonder where students are when we are teaching. So factors to consider. Now, before you choose, and this is where I want to put some emphasis. Now, before you choose that MTN is going to provide me with internet, Airtel is going to provide me with the internet. Okay? So there are some factors which you have to look at, especially those of you who are going to be in business. A business requires a stable internet, a stable network. Okay? So when you have a network which is going to disturb, which is not stable, you run into problems. Okay? So the first thing is availability and coverage. Before you choose whether in your organization you are going to use MTN, whether you are going to use Airtel, whether you are going to use Liquid Telecom. So the first question to ask, is it available in your area? Say if you're in Kanungu, okay? If you're in Kanungu and you choose to take Liquid Telecom, yet Liquid Telecom works within Kampala, these people are going to sell you the service. But later on, by the time you discover it doesn't work in Kanungu, you have already bought. And refunding your money will be almost equal to impossible. So before you pay any money, first make sure that that network is available in the area where you are. Then the speed and the bandwidth. Remember, we talked about the bandwidth. So the speed matters. How many computers are you going to use in your organization? If I buy this bandwidth and I load 10 computers, will I still have the same speed? Sometimes you have gone to the banks and you have heard the internet is too slow. They tell you the network is slow. So those are the issues. Okay. So the speed matters a lot before buying. Then the cost and the pricing plans. The cost. Sometimes some internet service providers, they have a catch somewhere. Don't just look at these things or buy one, get one free. Always they buy one, get one free. There's a catch somewhere. So if Airtel is selling 3.25 GB at 10,000, if Airtel is selling 3.25 GB at 10,000, go to MTN and you see the 3.25 on MTN, how much does it cost? Okay. Sometimes people think that these things are expensive, but just because they have not made research. Internet is just like you go to buy a shirt in town. If you go to Kampala Road, they can tell you that this shirt is 100,000. But the same shirt, when you find it in Owino, you can buy it at 20,000, but it is the same shirt. So always move around to see the different price plans. What favors your organization? Don't just buy without doing research. Then reliability and service quality. The network should be reliable. Then customer support. Does this provider give you support? If you have issues and you call, are they ready to help? This in a customer support, customer care is a big problem for us in Uganda, not only for internet, but generally in Uganda. The moment you become a customer, what comes afterwards, it will be tears. No one even wants to know. You try to call MTN customer care. The computer will talk to you until when you get tired. Recently, I had issues with my mobile money. I will talk to a computer until when I got tired, then I opted to get to speak to one of the personnel there. It was a lady who picked up. But the way the lady talked to me was as if I made a crime to call. She was almost taking me to prison. So I had to hang up, very disappointed. So sometimes internet has issues. Now and again, you are going to run into trouble. But is your internet service provider ready to give you assistance? Or it just takes money and the rest is not concerned? Those are factors which are very, very important. You may have been the one who purchased internet in your organization, and people are complaining they don't have network. So you have to be careful such that you get a provider who can provide very well. Just a minute, someone needs me. Yeah. Welcome back. That is customer care. Then data caps and fair usage policy. Now, sometimes when you purchase internet, there are some things which they will not tell you. There are some things which they don't tell you. So you have to be very careful to ask all the details. Sometimes, for example, they can tell you that we give you 3.25 GB a month. There is a catch somewhere. For you just hear 3.25 GB a month, then okay. So you buy. But the 3.25 GB, if you're not careful, it can get finished within 5 minutes. It can be finished within 5 minutes. So know what is in the 3.25 GB. It's not that it's going to spend a full month, no. But it depends on how you use it. What are you downloading? What are you uploading? Are you watching YouTube videos? You're not going to buy 3.5 GB and you start watching all Manchester matches, then Arsenal, all the matches, then YouTube and so on. And you think the 3.5 is going to spend a month because they told you 3.5 is a monthly GB. Okay. So always there are some data caps somewhere. Then we should go into contract with these people, especially when you're buying for the organization. Have a contract with the internet service provider and have the details of the contract. Otherwise, people might think that you ate the money, yet you used it because the data, they are going to give you money and they say this money is for 1 month. And you also sign for 1 month. One day down the road, the internet is finished and they're telling you, but you told us money is for the month. Yeah. So always have contracts with the internet service providers to know exactly what they are providing and get into contract with them. Because I know you are going to be in businesses, you are going to be IT personnel in businesses. So these things matter a lot. Then additional services. If the internet service provider is giving you additional services, what are they? Like, for example, the email. Is he giving you email services? Is he giving you domain hosting? Some internet service providers will add on domain space, emails, and also on secure emails. So ask them. So that brings us to number 9, that is security and private features. So you ask them the security. Will our emails be safe? Or people are going to hack into them every day? Okay. There are some internet service providers you use and they're not safe. And such organizations are being hacked into every day just because they chose the wrong internet service provider who has no security. Then another one is the reputation of the organization, reputation. So some organizations have built their name. Like when you say MTN, no one will doubt MTN. When you say Airtel, no one will doubt Airtel. Okay? But there are some, which I will not even mention their names, but there are some, their names are questionable. So their services have a problem. Yep. So sometimes choose organizations which have a reputable name, which have a good name, which have waters which have been tested. If there's no question, let us look at social media. Any question? Okay. So let's look at social media. Again, last exam, there was a question on social media. Some passed it, some. So social media, it just brings us together in one place, okay? That is why we call it social. It's just an online interaction where people can meet and have a chat, have a talk, and so on. So when we talk of social media, we talk of things like Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Instagram. So this is facilitate real-time communication. It's a networking, also a type of a network, but there's also some information dissemination, and we end up being impacted by the social media. You can see that today, when something goes to social media, it will be very hard for you to call it back the moment it goes to social media. It can be very hard for you to call it back. So social media brings impact to society. But sometimes this impact is positive, other times it is negative. The impact of social media. Sometimes it is positive, sometimes it is negative. Fortunately, the person who created social media, the people who started social media, their goal was a positive one. Their goal was a positive one. But as many people start to use social media, it has impacted people negatively. So positively, it enhances communication and connectivity. So that was the major goal, to ease communication. To ease communication. And in easing communication, by the way, I have to make this point clear. I have seen, especially you, the students, social media is good, but it's not official communication. Someone is missing marks, but is sending a lecturer a WhatsApp message. My marks are missing, finished, full stop. Because you have WhatsApp, you have data. You send a message, my marks are missing, full stop. Now, you think a lecturer is going to reply, now, who are you? What is your student number? What is your index number? I will just read the message and I move on because I have other things to do. Now you imagine, you send a WhatsApp message, my marks are missing. I don't know you. I don't know your student number. I don't know your index number. I don't know which course unit. Some students think we teach one student in a class, one course unit. So be careful as you use social media. It's not official communication. Pick up your phone, call the lecturer. Explain yourself very well. I'm so and so, doing such and such a course unit, and my marks are missing. But you send a message, my marks are missing. So what? Okay. So social media is made for easing communication, but some of you at your workplaces, you know you are not going to make it in time at work, and you send a message to your supervisor or to your boss, I will be late for work. Now, if your boss is not on WhatsApp at that time, he might see the message 2 days later. And for you think you communicated that you are going to be late. Why don't you pick the phone and you call and you say, excuse me, I have got a problem, I'm going to be late for work. Then he says, okay, at least. But you send a message, I'll be late. And your boss, you don't even mind to know when he was last seen on WhatsApp. So as we make communication easy in social media, let us be very careful. It's not official communication. The best way, some people make these WhatsApp calls. WhatsApp calls, you can make them when you're calling a colleague of yours who's your peer. Say you're calling your girlfriend, you're calling your boyfriend, you're calling your brother, you're calling your sister. But you can't call your manager at your workplace using WhatsApp calls unless he has authorized you to do it. If you have a communication to make, get airtime and call. Hope I'm clear on that. Let us not misuse social media. Then access to information and news is another advantage. Then opportunities for networking and professional growth is something also very important. All the notes I explained there, you can read. There's community building and support. creative expression and content sharing. You see, creative expression, maybe that is what forces some students to send lecturers messages of marks on WhatsApp. Because you know, when you meet him face to face, you're 100% sure that you failed the paper. So he said, let me try my chances by sending him a WhatsApp message, and I see. Because you fear facing him face to face, you know you failed the paper. So you become creative. You say here, let me send a message and I see if he... So creative expression, but also there are negative implications. One is privacy and security concerns. I hope I've already told you about in class about the things you send over WhatsApp, those videos and so on, and you think you have deleted. Okay? So you may think you have deleted, but just know you don't own the WhatsApp server. It might be deleted from your eyes, but the server, a copy is still there. Then mental health. Mental health. Some people have become obsessed with social media. Some people have become so obsessed with social media, whereby without WhatsApp, without Twitter, without what, they can't survive. Then spread of misinformation and fake news. Hope this one you know very well. Social media is a source of fake news and misinformation. You just go to your WhatsApp groups, their class groups. You're going to see students posting things. The lecturer said this when the lecturer has never said it. Recently, I saw someone posted in, was it in a computer application group? He posted online. Sorry, the network is on and off.
You can continue, sir. We are getting you now.
Okay.
Mm.
So we have been on the negative implications of social media, and we have said spread of misinformation. I've been talking about the e-learning. Someone put orientation to e-learning, which was meant for the School of Education only, was meant for distance students, but School of Education only. And whoever posted it never minded about that. He ended up confusing everybody, sending to all groups of distance students. So people are now worried. For us, we are not at campus, we are not, but the other people, the other group they meant was already at campus. So sometimes people misuse the social media to pass on wrong information. And when it goes viral, by the time you call it back, yes, you have already misled everybody. This one we know very well. All of us, we are falling into a trick of that. And that's why you find some people are forced to delete, but by the time you delete, other people have seen. By the way, some of you have children at home, be very careful. Sometimes we give our children phones to play with, and these children end up sending information in various groups when you're not aware. By the time they call you to tell you what have you put in the group, and you run to remove it, you already finished. So let us be careful. Those of you who have children, who give them your phones. Then cyberbullying and online harassment. See, you can see, again, let's use this, our social groups there, WhatsApp groups. You have seen how some people have become abusive to others in the group. I've been in so many student groups. A student puts something, is inquiring something, and someone answers abusively. Okay? Intimidating the other student, even failing to ask back again. So let us be polite when we are using these groups. Time management and productivity issues. This is now productivity is the problem here. You see that some people at the workplace, instead of working people on WhatsApp, have you ever gone in the bank? Those girls on the teller who think they're above everybody. You are lined up in the line, she's on WhatsApp sending messages. Okay. So I hope these things you have seen them. So people end up doing less work because of WhatsApp, because of social media. People have a lot of time for social media than time for working. You have gone to offices, someone instead of attending to you is on WhatsApp. You have gone to hospitals, they call a doctor, the patient is dying, but the doctor says, let me first send this message. Now, those seconds you would have saved the patient, but you want to first send that message. So people are doing less because of social media. And time management has become a problem. Many people have reached at work late just because you woke up late, just because you slept late when you were on WhatsApp chatting and you ended up sleeping late. So you had to wake up late and you end up going late at work. So a lot can be said about social media. You know most of those things with yourself. Then online collaboration. Now, online collaboration, these are things like the Zoom we're having now, whereby people can work irrespective of where they are. Like now, irrespective of where each one is, we are able to meet for the lecture. We don't need to be physically. And a lot of things that can be accomplished online without meeting physically. So we have various communication tools, which I want you to get used to. The first one is these Zoom links, but we have so many, like we have the Google Meet, we have Microsoft Teams, we have the Zoom, and so on and so forth. Start getting used to these technologies before you go to work. You start working. Those of you have not yet started working. Some students, when you tell them it's an online lecture, they say, sir, for us, we don't know those things. When will you ever know them? When will you ever know them? Are you waiting to first be given a job, then you know them? So the best thing is if you don't know, then you ask your friends, how is that done? Such that you know that one also. I think I'll have to organize one lecture using Teams. And then I organize another lecture using Google Meet, such that we can use all of these platforms and see how they do. However, I'll give you one lecture on how to use these online services, online meetings, and so on, how to organize an online meeting, how to manage an online meeting. I'll organize the lecture and I give you that lecture such that you can organize your own meetings and you can manage them. So the notes are there about online collaboration. You can go through them. Any question concerning data communication and networking? And we say everything is understood and we are ready to do any number in that. So next lecture, we shall look at data management and databases. You are free to unmute and ask. Otherwise, if there is no question, you can call it a day. hearing some voices in the background. I don't know if they...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Like, can I get this work in soft copy?
No. You can only get a hard copy. People misuse my soft copies. That's why I don't give them out.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, the lecture is done. You are free to leave now. I'm not adding anything else. I have recorded the video. I'll put it in on the YouTube. In case there's something you have missed.
Can I be helped?
Sorry?
Can I be helped with the email stuff?
Can you do what?
Can I be helped with the email?
I don't get what you're asking. Julius, what are you asking? He has forgotten. Okay. We can call it a day.
Okay, sir.
Someone is asking where do we get the hard copy? You can just go outside the gate for law school. There is a gentleman called Chikoni. He has those hard copies as you go outside the gate for law school. Okay.
Okay,
have a nice day.
Likewise.
Thank you, sir.